There's not much I can tell you. Just that these deletion boys pay good, and I don't ask questions.
What do you think?
The Steffens place, Phelps. I got a feeling we're not done there.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Dirty cop from the newspapers.
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
Lynch says we should visit Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
You're behind the wheel.
So where do you want to go?
We came as soon as we could.
The cop who arrested that movie producer. It's about time some of those movie people went to jail.
Lynch.
They think they're on top.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Come on, Phelps. You need to get the arrangement right before we can reproduce the results. Good, your regulator's in position. Okay, I'll light your pilot and turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
He's the dirty cop from the newspaper.
You can drive.
All right. Where to?
Show?
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. He loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
Plays a saxophone, and boy, can he get me going.
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
Here. Makes you see double. Makes you feel single.
He'll never find out.
New and improved model. They'll be selling these like hotcakes.
Saying that Detective Phelps has let down not just his family, but also the department and people he swore to serve. He will face a review.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Radio News.
I saved the whole year for that car!
That's him, that dirty cop. I hope his wife takes him for all he's worth.
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70, yeah. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
How many guys would know how to make that change?
All you need is a screwdriver and a wrench. Anybody could pull it apart and put it back.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
You employ accredited mechanics to do this.
We call them installers. Technically, they're gas fitters.
Installers, then.
They know what they're doing, Detective, if that's what you're trying to imply.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
I wish I could afford that.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
I want to run it by R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
You are a modest little person with much to be modest about.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Yeah, I've been
I need to
hankering
know
for
if
a
any of the
dust-up.
following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Kuttner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter, previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew, charged for contempt of court, attempted murder, plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady. Your employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasick. Desperate times indeed.
This guy must have escaped the loony bin.
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Here. Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick. Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine.